Make sure everything's good over here as well. What's up, everybody? I think y'all can see us hopefully soon.
Hey guys,
we are live.
Going live here from Las Vegas. I want to make sure that you guys can hear us loud and clear. Please drop that down in the chat. We're using these wireless microphones today.
First time I've done it through my computer, so hopefully it sounds all right. But if it sounds absolutely horrible, let us know and we can edit that. But yeah, like Stan said, we're here. I posted in the community section that we're at Grow with Video Live. It's a thing a conference put on by Think Media. If y'all have heard of that, if you're making content, you've probably maybe heard of them. Okay, good. Loud and clear.
All right, thanks a lot.
Yep. And we just got done listening to Dave Ramsey. So
Dave Ramsey was the final speaker of the day.
So this is our last live stream and post ever on YouTube because we're getting rid of our credit cards. So
yeah.
We'll be done after this one.
I don't know. Unlikely about that. But no, it's been a really good conference so far. We started here on Wednesday, had a full day of sessions. And then, today as well, we had a full day of sessions as well. So we're pretty beat from all the lecturing. You're mentioning that your legs are feeling pretty tired just from sitting.
I know. Yeah, my whole body's just like in a weird rut right now. Brought me back to college, honestly. Just sitting through lectures all day.
Yeah.
A couple of years out.
I remember we first. I told you actually at the end of yesterday that there were some new changes to the new card, that Wells Fargo Signify Cash Card for the business side, and I was like, "You want to do a live stream tomorrow?" And like, yeah. So we just kind of popped this together. I made a little thumbnail, and we kind of collaborated on a title, and made sure we had some slides for you guys, of course. And so hopefully this will be really educational and helpful for you guys. So thank you all for being here. I just want to actually address some people here in the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we had Woodsy come in earlier. He was the first commenter, but he said he's going to be watching the VOD because he's been working since 4:30. So props to you for doing that. We got Jose in here linking some news as well as Matt Clausen.
All right. Good to see you guys. Jose, thanks for being here. And
absolutely.
Matt, thank you so much.
Yeah, Matt already making a video on what we talked about.
That's
of
right.
Course, within minutes.
I did actually use Matt's video for some research. So Matt, I really appreciate that. And definitely check out that video. But he does such a good job getting the news out so fast.
I know. I can't imagine. He's got the finger on the pulse for sure.
I know. So it's great. So thanks a lot for that, buddy.
Absolutely. Got M2K, Kid Cat. Looks like Kid Cat coming over from, I guess, your channel.
Yeah. You can see there's a link on it. So he's from over. But it's on both my channel and Spencer's channel, but the same live, just advertised on 2 different channels.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever done that. So, I don't know what the numbers will look like, but no matter where y'all are joining from, we're glad you're here. Grant's here as well. Dalton.
Grant, good. Dalton, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for being such a good supporter of our channels.
Absolutely. Trinity, Sage Gamer, looks like. John, what's up, John? Member of the channel. Member of both of our channels, I think so.
Yeah. Sage Gamer is not a fan of Wells Fargo, apparently.
Nice. Oh, Enchanted Plant Queen.
Yes, Enchanted Plant Queen. Hello, thanks for coming in. She's actually here with in the conference with us as well. So she does a great channel on plants, specifically aroids, those big leafy green things. So if you're a big plant aficionado, definitely check her channel out.
Absolutely. Man, we got a lot of people rolling in. Tariq's in here, Ron West, CJ Cruz, Monty, big supporter of the channel.
Monty, my boy.
And then we got Michael as well, who I talk with very frequently. Michael actually put me on something I haven't talked about on my channel yet, which I don't know if you knew about this, but Chase has started to release Freedom cards that are not raised numbering anymore.
Really?
So you can reorder your Freedom cards. Like I reordered my Freedom Unlimited, and now it's flat numbers.
Great. Well, that's great because I don't have any Freedom cards yet.
Oh, well, I forgot. Yeah. Well, for the people in here, if they're watching my channel, I'm sure you got a Chase card or two. And then Juan as well, Xavier. I think we hit everybody that's in here so far. So thank you all so much for joining.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Don't forget to the like button, by the way. We're going to put a lot of kind of get into our slideshow here real quick, and they'll take kind of questions more towards the end. We just want to cover most of the news on this live stream today. Maybe like an hour-ish for this live stream. Nothing too crazy. We want to obviously go have dinner afterwards and maybe do a little bit of gambling or not.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's a business expense, right, guys?
Yeah. We'll see about that. Funny story. There was a tax question day at the conference. Yeah. And one of the people that were there was actually an IRS agent. Yeah. The room got so quiet when they started talking.
Wasn't a great place for an IRS agent for all these creators that don't exactly know what they're doing with their taxes.
My goodness.
We're having a good time here. Definitely want to get into the Wells Fargo stuff. Like Stan mentioned, y'all can leave questions now. Just know that we can see them, but we might not be getting to them until after we go through these like quick slides, just talking about the new cards and how we feel about them, basically, whether or not we want them and that kind of stuff. So also, sorry I'm leaning in so much, but we're working with what we got here.
Yeah,
so
we're doing natural light today.
Yeah.
And by the way, we're looking at a beautiful outside the window here is actually the Las Vegas Strip. We're at the beautiful M Resort right now for the conference, and the rooms actually give you a really great view of that strip. So it's really nice to look at. So we love looking at you guys, obviously, but if we want to like kind of zone out, we're like it's right there. And it's a beautiful sunny day here in Las Vegas, Nevada. So we're having a good time.
Yeah, and thank you for joining us late too. It's 8 p.m. for people that usually watch me in Central Time. So that's awesome y'all are here. But let's go ahead and get this slide deck up. Thank you again to Stan for letting us use his templates here and putting this together.
Of course. And Spencer, I think you said that you always wanted to talk about the Wells Fargo autograph journey card. I know I did my own video on that a little while ago and answered some questions in a previous live stream. I think it's the one that we did together about it because it came out around that time, about a month ago, I think.
Right.
But why don't you talk about what you think about this card, how that really affects things, especially between Wells Fargo and Chase?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, as Stan mentioned, I've been wanting to talk about this card. I haven't made a video dedicated to it yet, which I still maybe could, but this is honestly, this could almost serve as that. I'm going to be giving my opinions on the card in a more just open and honest fashion. That's what these lives are all about. But I mean, to start off, for those of y'all that don't know, Wells Fargo did release their new autograph journey card. It came along with the ability to now transfer your points out to partners on the autograph and autograph journey cards. Correct? Of course. That's all we have so far that are able to transfer out.
Yeah. It's got a good welcome offer too.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's got a 60,000 point welcome offer for spending $4,000 in the first 3 months. So does that sound familiar? That's exactly the Chase Sapphire Preferred, at least as of right now. Yeah. And it seems like with the $95 annual fee as well, that it's literally positioned to be like the Chase Sapphire Preferred competition, Chase Sapphire Preferred killer, if you want to be clickbait with it.
Right. But of course, there's some differences too. And I think that's going to be on the next slide here.
Absolutely. Yeah, there are very different, and I think for very different audiences, to be honest. But one of the most powerful things about the card is going to be the earning categories, right? Yeah. We have earning categories that aren't specific to a travel portal, which is huge, right? That's one of the biggest perks about this card. Yep. You're going to be getting 5x back on hotels, 4x on airlines, and 3x on restaurants and other travel, and then 1x on everything else. And on top of that, you do get that $50 annual statement credit with a $50 minimum airline purchase, which is also better than the $50 hotel credit on the Chase Sapphire Preferred. So once again, just taking some digs at the Chase Sapphire Preferred with a card much more focused on just general travel.
And why is it better than the Chase Sapphire Preferred? I forgot because I don't have that card personally.
Yeah, so the Chase Sapphire Preferred, it's a $50 annual hotel credit, but can only be used by booking a hotel through the Chase Travel Portal. So again, what Wells Fargo is really doing here is taking the good parts of the Sapphire Preferred, what value people get from the card, and making it even more accessible to other categories that's not specific to a portal, as well as the credit's not specific to a portal, which is a big pull and hopefully would cause Chase to maybe make some changes. But as we know, there's no reason to hold your breath on these lenders making positive changes to their cards, but one can dream.
Of course.
But yeah, what do you see this card like being positioned as? Is there a specific target audience you think the journey is for, or what do you think?
Well, I think the autograph journey is just an extension of the autograph card. Again, you do have these higher multipliers, but I've always made the point that the autograph no annual fee card is actually a really good card. Mm-hmm. And so to add the $95 to it, the $95 annual fee, they have to do something that's better than the original card. Now, the autograph journey, I think we'll go into this a little bit later, but there's going to be a section about, some of the benefits. And one of them is, car rental insurance. It is secondary, so it's not as good. Mm-hmm. Of course, we had the multipliers from before, the 5x hotels, 4x on airlines. And I think, I'm not sure, because the autograph journey is competing with itself almost. It's like, why would I get this card unless I was really staying at a lot of hotels, right? And there's a lot of great hotel cards already out there that have really great multipliers too. We know about things like the Marriott cards, it's about the Hilton cards, also the Hilton business card, that new refresh where that multiplier is already 5x too. Clearly not the same type of points, but I think when you look at these types of travel cards, at least for me, I'm more inclined to spend on a hotel stay on a hotel specific credit card than I am actually on just something for the autograph journey. I don't know if that's the same thing for you.
That's the same thing for me. And the biggest thing here that I think, I'll go ahead and remove this for now while we're talking about this. The biggest thing that I think about with this is that the only person I see it really being useful for, those categories, are people that are just completely agnostic when it comes to what hotels they stay in, and are staying in a lot of different hotels. Because for the most part, the strategy that I think you and I both implement, something I've learned from you as well, is to kind of focus on one or two hotel or just specific, hotel or airline ecosystems, if that's what you want to do, but mostly hotel, more than the airline cards. So if you're going to do that, then this card really is not going to help you, in that sense. Right. A lot of people also have the Amex Platinum card.
That's true. That has 5x flights, but this
Right.
one has like, is it 4x flights? I believe
4x flights and 5x on hotels.
Yeah, and I think one other argument was that also this card could be for the beginner traveler that wants to take a step into flexible point currencies. Because obviously at this time when this card came out, it was more of a introduction to the transfer partners that Wells Fargo has. We've gone over those in some detail from before, and they're not like super special. There's choice hotels, which is kind of, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But if you were, for example, like a road warrior, like for example, Dugras, this may be something helpful for him because he does a lot of road traveling that may not stay at, Marriott's all the time, Hilton's all the time. It depends on the person, right? But I think if you're someone that's not being a road warrior, you're actually trying to capitalize on one hotel system, getting points for it, maybe building up the status ladder. If you're doing Marriott, for example, you have all those different tiers to climb, or if you don't have the diamond status at Hilton, you want to get gold and you're trying to climb the ladder. That would be one way to do it, in addition to getting points too.
Right. Yeah, I completely agree with that. I guess my question would be also at the same time, the Wells Fargo autograph card to me has better categories overall. I mean, granted, again, unless you're doing the road tripping, I would probably be putting that hotel spin on a hotel card. The airline spin you could capture with something like an Amex Platinum, or say you have a Chase Sapphire Reserve or whatever premium card you have that's already capturing that airline at a high enough point value or earning rate. So why not just get the free autograph card that also allows you to transfer out to partners?
It's true. It's true.
That's kind of how I think about it.
Yeah, and then I also released a video, I think 3 days ago, about the best Hilton credit card setup. I got a lot of good feedback from you guys on that video. But basically, I was saying you can use an Aspire and a Surpass and basically cover tons of US only categories. But that would be one way to really make that spend really helpful. Or you could like bang out 4 Aspires, like some people on my comments have said. And that may be a better way to serve your hotel needs and your hotel earnings by just kind of really leading into those hotel credit cards.
Right.
But that's kind of my view personally on the hotel multiplier.
That makes sense. And then, 3x back on restaurants and other travel you can find with a lot of other cards. But if you need it, you need it. I think, we'll get into this a little bit later when we get into transfer partners. But any other specific benefits we're going to cover here?
The cell phone protection is somewhat good on this card too. I want to say, and someone fact checked me on this, I think the autograph journey and the autograph cards have the same cell phone insurance. But I can't remember off the top of my head. I know that you can see here on the bottom, it says get up to $1,000 on cell phone protection against damage, theft, or unintended separation, which
is a good thing.
Yes, you can just kind of depends on how you define that on your insurance claim. So to a $25 deductible, which is really not that big of a deal. So I think it's still pretty good to use.
Yeah, I remember. I thought someone might have mentioned. I thought it was like maybe like 800 on the autograph or something weird like that, but still, it's like very comparable. So again, not necessarily a reason to have the journey over the. Go ahead. Yeah, on the journey.
I'm going to feature this one just because I think it's important. So J-Man says, or J-Man316 asks, on the journey, will the 5X and 4X work on third parties like Priceline? I know the 3X on travel, on the autograph works on third party. And I think the answer to that is going to depend because it's not a general travel category. It is a hotel or airline category. So you'd have to try, I think, is the first thing. But I would not expect it to work on a third party because it's not coding as I think a third party is going to code as travel, not as specifically flight or hotel.
Yep, that's what I would say as well.
Yep.
And it looks like confirming what I was saying here as well. The autograph just has 800 in cell phone coverage.
Perfect. Thank you for that, TM calendar.
Grant said he thought it was 600. So
yeah.
Well, we got. Oh, here we go.
Matt Clausen has the answers. Here we go. They don't. After it is $1,000 and autograph, I think it's $800. I think $50. So it actually is a better 25 deductible is pretty solid.
Yeah,
that's really good. I think Amex Platinum is like way worse than that. But this one is like really, really, really good.
Right. Well, perfect. Thank you all for checking that for us. We got a couple people chiming in, so that's much appreciated.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Robin, for that.
And then let's see what else. What are they going to talk about on these cards?
So we want to talk about kind of the Chase situation versus Wells Fargo because it really does seem like Wells Fargo is targeting Chase because of the similarities in the card products that they have. So why don't we talk about that? I know you have a Chase Sapphire Preferred.
Well, reserve now, but yeah.
But you use that one. You had a lot of experience with it, which is I think it's important for you to tell us from a personal perspective. How do you feel about these two cards compared to each other?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of different ways to look at this. I think my easy answer for people is it kind of depends on what ecosystem you've started in, right? If you're somebody in the Chase ecosystem, this is the same argument between the Chase Sapphire Preferred and Wells Fargo Autograph Journey as it is with the Preferred as well as the Built MasterCard, for example. If you're somebody that started with Chase credit cards, if you want to be on team travel, you do need like the Chase Sapphire Preferred or one of their cards that allows you to transfer out, that being the Sapphire Preferred, Sapphire Reserve, or Ink Preferred. Sapphire Preferred is the most accessible for most people. So that's why we say you usually want that one. As for, so yeah, and in that case, if you have Chase cards beforehand, you kind of would need the Preferred at some point anyways. You could always downgrade it later, and then maybe you want to use your autograph for your main card. At the end of the day, the difference between the earning categories, like I mentioned previously, is that the Autograph Journey gives you the ability to earn points on your airfare and hotels with any airline or hotel. With the Chase Sapphire Preferred, to get any kind of added value or like get 5x back on any kind of travel purchases, it has to be through Chase. And as y'all know from watching our stuff, we generally do not recommend that you buy stuff. I mean, maybe not recommend is the right word, but like most people are not buying flights and stuff through Chase necessarily.
I also want to. I just noticed I made this presentation like at midnight last night. It's actually online groceries, not drugstores.
Online, streaming services and online groceries.
All good. Online groceries, not drugstores. So definitely just make that. I'm sorry about that typo there, but just make sure that you know that that's not drugstores is not a category on Sapphire Preferred.
Right. Yeah. So again, and also for me, whenever I look at a card, a $95 annual fee credit card for the most part with really any lender, the Citi Premier card, the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Of course, I'm blanking on all of other $95 annual fee cards, but with these transferable currency ecosystems, the only real benefit of getting those cards to me is being able to have access to the partners, which is why, again, I just went over my whole thought process on why would you necessarily get the Autograph Journey over the free version when you can get that same transferability. So to me, it's like, okay, the Autograph Journey is not really giving you anything special in that regard. So the only thing it really has over the autograph card as well as the Chase Sapphire Preferred would be earning categories specific to hotels and airlines. For a lot of people, that's a very niche situation when you need that, like we were talking about before. If y'all missed that part, we just talked about a few minutes ago. I don't want to reiterate that point, but that's how I feel about the cards. It's like, I think you could have both for one, but I also would rather probably pair the Sapphire Preferred with just the normal autograph. You will have some overlapping categories, but honestly, will you really? With the Sapphire Preferred and the autograph card? Maybe like one.
I mean, you have a better general travel category.
Yeah.
You do cover the gas category, which is going to be my next thing about that, is that the Chase ecosystem, as we all know, are missing two important categories: groceries and gas. The Flex, they cover it one quarter of the year, but that's not helpful,
offer,
right? Or welcome offer. That's true. But it's not like a permanent category, right? So you can't really build a really good core setup that's reliably going to have those categories unless you add something else, like, for example, the Citi Custom Cash. But, I think what's nice about the Wells Fargo autograph system is that they do cover everything except for one category, which is groceries, right? That's what the Citi Premier card has over the autograph. Even though it has that $95 annual fee, it does cover groceries and gas on a single card, and that's super nice. And so, of course, they have that transferability to the Citi transfer partners too. But I actually agree with what you're saying with the decision between both of them. I think Chase does have the better transfer partners. I would just use that card with the Chase ecosystem because right now Wells Fargo is doing a good job starting to compete with Chase, but Chase still has, because they have the better transfer partners, that end goal is already there for you. And you can actually use those points in a lot better transfer partners, a lot better ways than you can with the Wells Fargo autograph journey, as for right now.
I agree. And that is going to be why I was going to bring up Keith's response here too. So what Keith is saying here is that he'd take the Citi Premier over these two cards. Earning categories wise, I would agree. For me personally, that doesn't apply to everybody. But what Stan was just saying, it really all depends on transfer partners, who you want, who you want access to. And for me, for example, the Chase transfer partners are exactly who I want to book travel with. I use Hyatt, I use Southwest. That's who I fly with and stay with in Texas. So it's just perfect for me. The Citi Premier is awesome. And I could use it for international travel or use the airline alliances to book domestic flights and stuff like that. But for me personally, it doesn't make as much sense, hence why I don't have it yet, but I do plan on adding it. With Wells Fargo, we're going to get into this, but they don't have anything right now that is on the transfer partner side that is really a competitive advantage to where I would want to start in a new ecosystem. That's just me, and we can talk more about that here in a second. Also, yeah, the autograph journey has 3x on general travel too. I think they just had restaurants on the slide, but we showed the earning categories earlier as well. So is there anything else we want to cover here? You can call one out too.
Yeah, I think we're good here.
It looks like people are helping each other out, so
Yeah.
thank you for doing that.
I think we're good. I think we just want to talk about a little bit more about what else is going on. And I think the big news from yesterday that we all talked about was going to be about that new business card. But did you want to go over that slide before we get started?
Yeah, we can. We can go over that. I mean, it's basically what I was just saying. So we can just, I can summarize real quick, just the difference between the transfer partners so you can see it all in one place. As we know, or I guess some of us know, Chase is going to have 14 different transfer partners. That includes 3 hotels and 11 airlines. Hence why they have a ton of coverage. Like I said, for me, I really focus on, I guess you can't see my pointer, but World of Hyatt and Southwest for me domestically, not the best redemption rate necessarily. So I'm not recommending you do this, but with Hyatt, I would recommend you do that.
I know you may cover this in a future video.
Yeah.
But do you want to transfer points to Southwest, or would you just use that travel portal, assuming you had the Chase Sapphire Reserve?
Yeah, so I'm in an interesting position where I do have the Chase Sapphire Reserve. As you can see from the 3 cards up here, I put these up here because they all have transfer partner access, but they have different redemption rates through the travel portal. Chase Sapphire Preferred on the left, Chase Inc. Preferred on the right, give you 1.25 cents per point through the Chase portal. Southwest average redemption is about 1.4 to 1.5 in my experience, which means that you would be doing better by transferring to Southwest if that's one of your redemption strategies. With the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you get 1.5 cents per point through the portal. So if you're not guaranteed 1.5 with Southwest, the question would be, well, why not book all of your domestic airline through the Chase travel portal? And the big answer that I have, which I'll be talking about in a video literally this weekend, assuming it goes up on normal schedule, is I would take a 0.1 cent per point hit. Say, for example, Southwest I'm only getting 1.4. That's it. I would take that 0.1 cent per point hit to not have to deal with the travel portal, to me, because that just makes things like it just adds a whole level of headache to the situation where with Southwest, if I book direct with them, I can cancel. I get a credit for the flight. I also can add flight segments towards companion, all that kind of stuff as well applies through Southwest, but it does not apply if you do that through the portal. They see it as like an Expedia booking. Yeah. So for me, yes, it's a little bit less value. It's not 100% optimal, but I'm booking what makes sense for me, and I would take that little bit of a haircut to have peace of mind.
I think the haircut is absolutely worth it. As someone who flies almost exclusively on Southwest Airlines, the ability for you to cancel and change flights on their website is it's unparalleled, right? Yeah. There's no change fees. If you just want to cancel, you can cancel up to 10 minutes before the flight and still get it all back in at least flight credit. Right. If you book an anytime fare, not a one away, but like an anytime fare as well as like a business or like what have you, those can actually get refunded back to you. And what's interesting also is that if you want to transfer those money you get back as a flight credit to somebody else, and someone else you can't. For example, if I wanted to take a cancellation, I booked an anytime fare and I wanted to transfer it to my wife, for example, I could do that. She could use that money instead. And you couldn't do that if you were using the points on the Chase portal instead. So I think taking that 0.1 cent point haircut is
I've had plenty of people I know, but one friend in particular recently made a booking through a portal, the Chase portal, and he had to cancel the flight, no refund, nothing, just lost 30,000 points or whatever. And it's like, I mean, what can you do with Southwest? If you book direct, you wouldn't have had to deal with that. But yeah, so this whole thing was just showing, okay, these are the Wells Fargo transfer partners. They only have 6 currently, all airlines besides Choice. They do have a good redemption rate with Choice or a transfer ratio of 1 to 2. With Capital One, I believe it's Capital One, you only get a 1-to-1 transfer. With Citi, you get 1 to 2 as well. So it's matching the best. That's a niche opportunity here that Chase does not give you.
I think it's when it says unavailable on transfer time for Iberia Plus. So you don't know when you're going to get that. It's going to be kind of a hit or miss.
Don't know. Yeah, I grabbed this off of the website this morning, so it should be accurate, I hope. But yeah.
I mean, you probably transfer to Air France, KLM, or British Airways anyways, so I think that's fine, unless there's others you think that are better.
So yeah, I mean, just reiterating the point here, if you like these transfer partners and you don't have Wells Fargo cards yet, maybe it's well worth it to go get the bonuses on these cards and stash up some points and transfer out.
Yeah, bonuses are solid. They can cash back if you want to do that. Obviously, Wells Fargo does direct deposit or statement credit if that's fine with you. Of course, all of these points from the autograph journey, autograph, and active cash all combine that. I think we actually saw, I think Matt Klossman made a video about how to transfer those points from one card to another. So that was really helpful. But that's really cool. And that actually leads us great into our next topic, which is going to be the Wells Fargo Signify Business Cash, which did drop yesterday. Now, I know that they had business cards in the past, but they've been kind of off the application pool for a while. But this is their first business card that they put out, which is nice, and it's a no annual fee card. It's actually got a pretty solid welcome offer. I'm sorry I have to lean in because it's a little bit small here. It's to earn $500 cash rewards, and when you spend $5,000 in purchases in the first 3 months. That's like a 10% return on spend, which is pretty cool. This is just a very basic card, a 2% cashback card. Again, no annual fee, no caps, no limits. You have the 12-month 0% APR as well. And so it's a pretty simple card to understand. So what's nice about this is if you kind of go to the next slide here, is that we can look kind of further on into what this business cash card has. So one thing that's important is obviously the annual fees being none, but it does have that foreign transaction fee of 3%. So that's a little unfortunate. I know a lot of us like to have no foreign transaction fees because it makes it more of a catch-all card. That's what we're looking for with these 2% cards is can you use it domestically and internationally at the same time? 3% out. Can't do that. So this is a US-based card. So that's, it is what it is. That's what they want. One other thing I wanted to point out is, I was trying to figure out, can you transfer points from the Signify Business Cash to other cards for transfer partners? And it wasn't super clear, but I think based on the language that they use in the terms and conditions, I think you can. The reason for that is you look down the bottom here where it says rewards, it earns not only cash rewards, but also points too. And the same language is used in the autograph card as well as the active cash card. So just based off that deduction, I think that you still can transfer points from this card into the point pool. So you can actually use that for transfer partners, which is pretty solid.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I believe Matt left a comment on the community post saying that you might have an offer or a application pending for this card, or that might have been somebody else. It was one of my channel members. And so if that's the case, I would assume Matt would have known that.
And Matt already says here,
there you go.
Big bold letters, just make sure that you definitely can. Yeah, thank you, Matt. Yeah, we can. I just wanted to make sure that the deduction process, because when I look at a new card, I always kind of go through the terms and conditions as best I can, because you don't want to assume things unless it specifically says you can transfer points. I'm not convinced until I kind of see certain patterns in the terms and conditions, especially if a card is brand new and no one has any experience with it yet. So that's just important. But thank you for confirming that as well.
Got to read terms and conditions now with Amex doing their family language.
Oh, very important. That's for sure.
But yep. So this is the next slide there.
Okay, good. So I put these up here because I want to dive into the terms and condition a little bit more. I believe the top one, let's see here. So it says, can a customer with an existing Wells Fargo small business credit card apply for the Signify Business Cash? And so I think it's cool because if you look at the first line, it says, yes, you can get one, including those accounts that have been converted to either a Signify Business Essential or a Signify Business Elite. And I don't think those are active on the website. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen that. No.
So it leads me to believe that there is a pathway to doing kind of a mid-tier and a higher tier luxury business credit, higher tier business credit card in their Signify lineup. And I don't know, I haven't really looked at the news to see if there's any more data points about that. All we can see now is a Signify business card, but that was an interesting thing. But also, if you look down on the bottom of the first paragraph there, it says you cannot product switch this card. It's not an active feature. If you want it, you need to apply for it. And I don't know yet if you have a Business Essential or Elite, can you product change down to the free version? Or does that just mean because of this new rollout, you can't obviously product change from a current business platinum or current business elite? It's not clear from the language. I tried to figure out if there was some kind of language I was missing, but from what I can read from these terms, I don't think it's not clear yet if you can make product change from a higher tier Signify card to a lower tier. But what's important now is that there's only one that you can apply for.
Right. And I think I'll put my hat in the ring saying that the Business Essential is going to operate more like an Inc. Cash. Business Elite's going to operate like an Inc. Preferred because they're just coming for Chase in every regard. I bet that's what they do in a sense.
Yes, that's true. That's right. The Elite thing is, I remember the Bank of America Preferred Premium Rewards Elite. Yeah, so they're using the same terminology, the Elite card. So there's that. The only reason I put this second one down here is because if you look at the very bottom of the second paragraph, you can see that, the first paragraph is that the minimum credit limit, provided you meet the terms and conditions of this offer, is $2,500. And refresh my memory, Spencer, it's $3,000 on the in card. Is that correct?
Yeah, I've gotten both of the lowest limits on my card, so I know it's 3,000.
Well, I guess Chase is treating you just like Amex is treating CJ. So there's that.
Exactly.
So that's why I want to include there as well. I know that Chad is now in the house. Chad Money Minutes, good to see you, buddy. We were taking a page out of your book, doing kind of this live here a little bit.
Yeah.
Sporadically. We did do a little bit of a warning, but I thought that was something we wanted to just do for you guys because we're both here.
Absolutely.
In beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Beautiful sunset now, but I think the sunlight is still holding up. So we're pretty happy about that.
Yeah, we're doing good for now.
You know what really sucks about this resort, by the way, is that the pool closes at
5:30. 5:30, yeah.
There's plenty of sunlight still. I don't like why are you closing so early?
We're sitting at 6:30 right now, and there's still the sun is
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful pool out there. No one can go out because it's closed. Anyways, that's besides the point. Okay, so let's go back to the slideshow. There's something else I want to talk about the Signify card because it actually does give you priority pass access. And if you look down in the benefits page, it does say that you get it, and it's not the same one that you think of. So it says, congratulations as a valued Wells Fargo Signify Business Cash, Business Essential, or Business Elite MasterCard cardholder. You are eligible for a complimentary annual Priority Pass membership, but individual lounge visit fees will apply. So we now know that there is a Priority Pass membership. Mm-hmm. It is for all three versions, the no annual fee, mid-tier, and higher tier versions of these business cards. But I was confused because I didn't know what it meant by say lounge visit fees will apply. And so if we go to the next slide here, I did look up Priority Pass memberships based on their website. I believe, and correct me for those of you if I'm wrong, by the way, because I'm not sure sometimes with these things, but I believe that we are always looking at the prestige version where you get the annual fee, you get covered by basically the credit card company, and you can get all visits free. But if you look at the standard offer, the one on the very left-hand side in green, there is an annual fee for Priority Pass memberships, but it does charge you like a $35 interest fee. So I think this Wells Fargo Signify card does give you Priority Pass, but it's a useless Priority Pass because the other cards give it to you for free, whereas this one you still have to pay some fee to get into each individual Priority Pass membership.
Yeah, I guess it gives you maybe $100 value. You could calculate it here as, and that's probably what they would market it as. But in normal fashion, I wouldn't even consider that a credit or like any kind of benefit necessarily, considering you also probably don't need a Priority Pass access with a free catch-all business credit card. You probably have it on a travel card. So, but it is a cool thing that you caught there because I hadn't seen that before. Yeah. I wonder too, because they only call it Priority Pass membership here instead of like Select. So that already shows you right there that it's not as high quality.
Yeah.
But that's to be expected. This would have been a bonus. So this is kind of just like
and it's still unclear if it's going to be including obviously those Priority Pass restaurants too. Yeah. I don't think Wells Fargo has any history with Priority Pass that we're aware of. And just from just thinking about it right now, the only ones that are like different is, as you know, the Chase Sapphire Reserve have recently downgraded starting July 1st, getting rid of the restaurant access. However, the Chase Sapphire Reserve still does give you the Chase Sapphire Lounges plus that Austin Airport Sapphire Terrace, which, by the way, you did use on your way over here.
Right, yeah. I use it every time I fly now. I'll always post a little Instagram story when I'm in there, so y'all can come say hi if you want to, but it'd be really odd timing if you were at the same airport at the same time, but check me out. But yeah, like for me, I've talked about it in videos, I think, already, but to me, that didn't really impact my view of the card. I would use Priority Pass really only specifically for the lounges. It would have been nice to have the restaurant access, but for the airports I've flown into, I've never even used Priority Pass. I've usually used a Chase Lounge or maybe a Capital One Lounge with my Venture X.
Right.
And so the main reason I have the Venture or the Sapphire Reserve is for the Chase Lounge.
Yeah. And last I checked too on the topic of Priority Passes is that the Ritz Carlton card from last I checked is the same as the same as the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, except you can't access the Chase Sapphire Terrace Lounge in Austin. Yeah. But you still can access the Chase Sapphire Lounges on the Ritz Carlton card. That's not that specific one terrace lounge.
I know, yeah. So that's going to be something I talk about because I'm in the process of waiting to product change up to the Ritz Carlton card. And then if that was the case, if I could get into the Chase Sapphire Lounge, I would probably downgrade my Sapphire Reserve again.
Yeah.
But I can't do that because I need access to the one in Austin. So it's going to be an interesting thing to think about. But
and one more thing about that too is I wanted to make sure that everyone understands that I think the most powerful Priority Pass now is the Bank of America Premium Rewards Elite credit card, which I never thought I would say.
Yeah.
But it is because there's that card, and then there's the U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve card, which they both get the access to the restaurants. Of course, the U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve only gives you 8 visits a year. whereas the Premium Rewards Elite card gets you that restaurant access and plus all the other lounges, as you would understand. Now, what I think is very interesting, and I don't believe it's talked about that much because this card is not covered a lot, is you would think that you need to get an authorized user to get that priority pass on the card, which, by the way, are free.
Yeah.
However, I have recently found that you don't need to have an authorized user to get the extra 4 priority pass. You literally just enter in your credit card number, which, by the way, if you have an authorized user on Bank of America, the credit card number is the same for you, the user, as well as the authorized. I think it's the same for Chase too, by the way. And to just input your credit card number into the little priority pass thing, and they will give you 4 free priority pass based on the name you put in. I just did this with my wife, and so basically, you don't need an authorized user. You just have to put in like the name, and that's it. And it's free. It's really easy. So it's easier to get those priority passes. It's not as complicated, and it still is very powerful. It's just you can't get into the Sapphire lounges with the Bank of America version of the priority pass. And so I want to make sure that we all know that even though this card's kind of like hated on, it's still a very good priority pass card. Now that Chase Sapphire Reserve is downgrading their priority pass without the restaurants.
Yep, gotcha.
Yeah,
awesome. Good note there. Looks like we're about 34 or so minutes in. Anything roll in? I don't think so. We are living our best life in Vegas. I will tell you that.
That's right.
We're gonna go win a ton of money tonight, and if not, we're writing it off. I'm kidding. IRS don't come for me.
Right. Not financial advice.
But yeah, let's go back here. Talk about like the total lineup of Wells Fargo in general, because now we have theoretically a pretty nice looking setup forming. So what do you think on it, first take?
I really think that they are doing a good job introducing a lineup of cards, right? And so they have that 2% base card. They still don't have a good backup, like catch-all card with 2% with no foreign transaction fees. As we know, the bottom 2 cards here, they're 2% cards. They do have foreign transaction fees, so that's a little bit annoying, but it's something that we have to deal with.
Same with Chase.
But it is interesting that now they have that 2% level covered, whereas Chase still has that 1.5x on the Freedom Unlimited or the Freedom Rise, those sorts of cards. I like where they're going. I like that they have a business option now. It's definitely nice to know that you can get that card, and I do not believe we have to check this if the business card reports to your personal credit report. I don't think the answer is yes. I think pretty much you wouldn't, but you would still get a hard pull.
Right. We could ask. Yeah, RJ is the only person I know personally. If y'all had the old Wells Fargo business card, we could probably extrapolate that information to this one. But because RJ I know had the old one, and I don't know if he ever stated if it reported. I don't think it did though. I think it's just Capital One, and that's it these days.
Yeah. So I think Matt Clausen has something here. He says Signify Essential is the card previous business card holders got transitioned to. It earns 1%. The Signify Elite will be a higher tier. So he has more information about that. It sounded like the Essential was going to be more of a mid-tier card, but maybe I'm wrong. I haven't really looked into the Wells Fargo ecosystem as much. I just noticed that on the priority pass kind of description as well as some of the terms and conditions. So I just assumed that those are cards to come, but maybe it's already there. I'm just not as familiar with it.
Yeah, and also, you imagine that if they're making this many changes to their cards, this card becomes completely irrelevant if they don't update it now. So you would expect them to probably make it a little bit better, but again, we never hold our breath with these lenders.
See, our boy Matt Welter's here in the chat.
Matt
Welcher, I love that guy. Matt Welcher is actually what kind of formed our little credit card group when we first started back in early 2022. And so I always have Matt to thank for that. And he's just a great guy all around, just the nicest guy you've ever met.
I know. Yeah, we've been talking about you a lot this trip, Matt.
Yeah.
Telling people that because the big thing here is talking about building communities with people that you make, the same kind of content with. And you started that for us. So
absolutely. So good to see you, buddy. Great to be here. We have John McKinstry's in the house over here down there.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming in.
What's up, John?
All right. We are having a great night in Vegas, still using natural sunlight. You can see kind of our reflections in the back there from the window. You can see how big this window is, by the way.
I know. Yeah.
So it's nice because when you are off strip, the hotels are just better. The rooms are better. You get more stuff. The table limits are lower. That's cool too. And, I personally drove from Southern California. And so I have a car so we can drive around. We're going to have dinner tonight. So it's going to be a great time. But yeah, we're just enjoying ourselves. We're here for that conference. It's ending tomorrow, but we've had such a good 2 days so far, and we're glad to join a little bit or join you guys for this live stream, kind of just to get you in on the news that's coming out right now for credit cards, because the credit card world never ends. Like it always changes, and there's always something going on.
Especially the last month, it's been just change after change after change. So we're happy to report a little bit on it, and I'm just glad to get to spend time with you in person and just talk about this stuff.
Well, I appreciate it. It's always a good time hanging out with you. I think last time we were like kind of it was a Las Vegas meetup, I think.
Yeah, September.
And then before that was our Clear Conversations back in Austin. Yep. Yeah, so that was really fun. But that's great. I think we're just trying to learn YouTube so we can make it better for you guys. That's really why we're here. Things change. YouTube in 2024 is not what it was in 2022. No. It's totally different. And so we have to just, keep up, keep learning, keep improving, just making sure that we know what are the trends these days and how we can make our content even better for you guys.
Right. Yep. And live streams are going to be a big part of that for me. I know Stan's poured into that this year too. So this is one of the first tests of like, hey, let's do something sporadic. We know there's a new card out. Let's just talk about it live and just figure it out. I mean, we did prep some stuff, of course, but we're trying to make it less friction and just get to talk to y'all personally as much as possible. So that's a big goal of mine this year, as well as Stan's.
Absolutely. So there's more news actually that has come out even today. And so, as I'm sure you all have seen, and this is near and dear to my heart because I applied for this card almost exactly 2 years ago when the first Delta Reserve card came out with the 747 metal. And so you can see there's a new card now. It's the same reserve card. Nothing has changed on the card specifically, but there is a new 747 design. It's white. Personally, I'm a big fan of the black. It's more sleek. But, I think new year, new card. And so I wanted to cover this as well because I think it's interesting. So I wanted to say, first off, when I applied for this card in 2022, this card offered a welcome offer of 100,000 bonus miles after spending $5,000 in 3 months. And so you have to be careful when you apply for this card because when I applied for it in 2022, I didn't care about Delta at all. I just wanted the card, right? And so if you have an open Amex slot, and by that I mean you have less than 5 or whatever your total number is going to be, you want to make sure that you go for the right offer. This is very important because even when we were preparing this slide, Spencer, you went on Chrome and just did the basic offer, and the basic offer was actually on the reserve card 60,000 bonus miles for $5,000 in the first 6 months, which is better than 3 months, I would admit, but it's still, you get less
for
points.
60% of the points, in my opinion.
Right. I mean, it's still something that you have a longer period of time to make the spend. However, I said, no, Hunter, we got to put this on incognito mode and see what happens. And so when you do that, it now jumps to kind of a little more acceptable 90,000 bonus point offer, which is really annoying because in 2022, you just, whatever was incognito or just general, it was just 100,000 points and there was no BS about doing this nonsense. But now they have this thing where you have to make sure, because they do give you a welcome offer of standard welcome offer for this new card of 60,000. But if you just find it, it's 90,000. Not as good as 2022, but we know inflation's coming, things are happening. And so just be aware that that's the new offer for this card. Now, when in my mind, I was like, maybe I should get the business version of this card because it will be obviously a business card. We'll report to Chase 524. Great. Softball, great. Okay, so what can I get with that? Well, it seems like Amex caught on to this because their offer on the business reserve card actually kind of sucks. If you look at it, it's to earn 75,000 bonus miles after spending $10,000 in purchases in the first 6 months. So it's worse than the actual reserve card on the personal side. And so I think
that's worse than 2 years ago by a lot.
Oh, absolutely. And I remember in 2022, I think it was almost the same offer. I want to say maybe the MSR was higher on the business, but it was pretty similar. It wasn't such a different thing. And I've never seen a business card with a lower welcome offer than a personal card. That's ridiculous. So they're trying to push you for whatever reason to one card. Now, if you look at the standard offers, 60,000 versus 75,000, it is higher on the business. Also, we may have not hit the welcome offer. That's the elevated offer on the business card too. That's also something that
maybe it'd be up to 100,000. That would make sense. It's a little bit higher. But either way, it's definitely unfortunate to see, but this is a trend that we've seen Amex take really all year. I mean, all the last 2 years, they've been increasing the minimum spending requirement. They will give you a longer time to hit it, but increasing minimum spend and dropping the welcome offers. For the most part, which is unfortunate to see. I will say, just going back to the design aspect of this card, I think guys in the credit community were talking about how this card, I believe, is made out of 33% metal from the plane, and the last one was like 25%. So for you airheads out there, and I mean that by airplane.
I think Keith said it just the best way I could possibly describe it as peso. So not only you're earning less bonus miles, you are learning a certain type of currency that is less valuable just by nature of what it is. Now, one thing I do want to point out though is that if you have a reserve card already, you can just product change the card today to this design. That's probably the best option you have, because to get this card and to like, get this kind of welcome offer, I don't think it's worth a Chase 524 slot by any means. I think if you want to apply for a business Delta reserve and you have an open slot, you have 1 year to burn on that slot, then I think that's okay. I think if you want to be a collector, that's fine. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. I wanted to. I really actually physically thought about applying for those cards. But when I saw the welcome offer, and I was like, I gotta cancel a fifth Amex card. I gotta hold that slot for a year because I have 4 that I have that I want to keep. I have the Blue Cash Every Day, which is 19 years of credit history. I have the Blue Business Plus, which I want to keep. I have the Marriott Bonvoy Business and the Bonvoy Brilliant. I want to keep those. I definitely want to do a Hilton Ladder at some point. And so I only have 4 cards I want to keep. So this slot for me is really important. And so at that point, I'm not really interested in hogging it for a year on a Delta card that is cool. It looks cool. But it may not be welcome offer. It's the welcome offer is just not appealing enough to me to really go for it.
Yeah, in my eyes, who's this card for? It is on this design, I'm saying. Not necessarily the whole card, but who is this card for? I think it's for people that are really just collectors at this point, because as it sits right now, it's not a very optimal welcome offer. It's not really, they didn't add anything to the card to make it any better. It has a really high annual fee. So even if you are just a collector, that's a lot of an annual fee. And even the welcome offers are not even giving you really enough value. I mean, maybe to cover the annual fee for a year, but like barely compared to other cards where it's like Sapphire Preferred, you're covered for 7 years. So it's like that, it's just not that valuable. And obviously that's why they have to make the card look really cool. So you want to apply for it. Just be cautious. Maybe don't fall for the hype. But if you got the first one, again, like Stan said, look at not product changing. Look at requesting a new card design to get that one before they run out. But yeah, that is, I guess, our take on that. No, we did not have another slide on that. So we're hoping to get out of here within like 15 minutes, go have dinner with a couple of people here at the conference. We would love to answer any live questions, unless you had something else to cover real quick.
Yes, absolutely. I think, we got a good...
I'll tell you this much. We're going to have to block this guy. Talking about my shirt. And I went to the University of Texas, so.
What is the reference there? I'm not.
He likes Texas A&M. So saw him off as like the horns on the Longhorn.
I got it. Okay.
And gig him as the A&M thing.
Got it.
It's pretty annoying to say the least, right? So.
Okay, well, good. I'm learning a little bit more about college athletics today as well. Always learning, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think Sylvia has an interesting comment here. Nowadays, Amex is feeling themselves a lot, and so we'll probably keep these types of welcome offers up until they feel a dip. Yeah, they're keeping it up, I guess. I think again, the ones that we have now, those new Delta Reserve cards, are kind of falling a little bit. So I hope it's not a trend that continues, because what we want is elevated welcome offers. That's what makes Amex great. Right. I think they do a good job with making sure that you use their cards because of the whole soft pull situation. That's very powerful. It really is. Like, I mean, if Chase didn't have 524, I would have a lot more Chase cards and they would get a lot more spend from me. But because of the soft pull situation from Amex, I do tend to use their cards for welcome offers and specifically higher spend. Because if you all have watched my video from last year where I said I'm not using Amex cards anymore, I am. I'm not using them anymore. But I'm really saying that for everyday expenses. I think if they have a good welcome offer, I'll like plow or maybe single shot a welcome offer and just do that. But so they still get that big spend from me. But if the welcome offers are no longer there, that kind of takes away from my reasoning to get their cards anymore. Yeah,
I mean, that's exactly what I just did in the same vein. I just applied for the Amex Business Gold because it had an elevated offer. But even that offer, I don't think is. I mean, it was a great offer, 150,000 points for the 10,000 spend. But even that wasn't necessary. Like, it was close to not even being enough for me to be like, I don't know if I want to keep working with Amex right now. So it is an unfortunate time. They obviously are keeping up with economic trends and. To a degree, they're probably trying to squeeze every ounce of value they can from us or not give us as much as they want to. But
Look, my boy Chad over there, Chad Petticuff from my DVC Points. He's just ordered a replacement 747. That's exciting, man.
Yeah,
definitely.
Really cool.
Maybe you should. I know you're on a credit card channel, but if you want to like showcase that off in a short or something, I'd love to see what that card looks like or how it sounds like.
Get them together next to each other, frame them.
Oh,
that's people are talking about.
I wonder, Chad, do you also have the black version, the black 747 card?
Oh, I guess.
You know?
Yeah.
So, like, maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. I want to see what that's like. I think Dalton here has a question, too, though. Let's take a look at that one. So, Dalton asks, do you think if Chase does re-release the Ritz card this summer, when they refresh the Bold card, what changes do you think they could make to it? And do you think it could get nerfed like the Venture X has? Good question. I don't think it's going to be changed that much, except for potentially the annual fee.
Yeah.
I think the multipliers are very similar. If you look at the Marriott Bonvoy cards in general, they're all very similar. The Bonvoy Brilliant, the Bonvoy Business, and the Ritz-Carlton all earn 6x points on Marriott. Yep. It's just that middle category that may change depending on the card, what that is going to be. And they all earn 3x and everything else. So I think that's a system that's working well for them and will continue to work well for them as we move forward. The question is, now we're working with Chase this time around. So are they going to add some kind of statement credit or some kind of benefit to the Ritz-Carlton card that would justify the annual fee? Or really just simply raise the annual fee and just say, too bad. But you can apply for it outright now, as opposed to like having to product change the down list.
Right.
I think that would be kind of what I would expect.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I talked about earlier, I'm on the path to product change up to the Ritz. It'd be really unfortunate timing if they do negatively change it right before I'm going to product change. Because, I mean, in reality, as long as they add a welcome offer, I'll be happy, right? That at least keeps me happy for another year. But if they increase the annual fee a bunch and all of that, like part of me just hopes they keep it somewhat of a harder to get card and I can just product change and not affect my 524 and not affect any of that.
Well, that's part of the allure, right? The allure is like it's a secret card. Like you have to like do the special thing to get in. But like I think it may not be as alluring if you make it available to everybody, just like most products just in general.
Like this card with the airplane design on it. Like it's just it's part of it's special. So
Chad says that he didn't get that. I'm sorry about that. Did not get that, so that's okay.
Talking about the black 547 design.
The black 747. Yep, exactly.
What did I say? 747.
You said 547.
547.
524 is good, Stan. Yep, I know it. Keith is always on me about that, but yes, there are reasons that 524 can be good, and that's because it really limits your credit cards and not so you don't have like 40 or 50. Not again, not saying it's bad, but I think should be some limit to the credit cards you get.
Yeah.
But no, you're right, Keith. If it wasn't there, I would go crazy. It'd be kind of a bad thing. I see here there's a question from Vijayan Balasubramanian.
I'm impressed you even went for that. I would call them VB right there.
Yeah, VB sounds good. I like VB actually. That's a great name. Okay. So if you are targeted for Amex Gold, though you already have Amex Gold, will you apply again if welcome offer is $90K plus $50 back in restaurant credits? That's the new offer that they're offering.
Yeah.
But he does. You already have an Amex Gold personal. So what do you think is going to happen if you do that?
Yeah, I mean, with Amex's once in a lifetime welcome offer rule, as well as you already having that card, that they should not allow you to have that card, a second one. Yeah. They wouldn't approve you for it. I mean, I guess you probably would get pop-up. Hopefully you wouldn't have to go through the whole application to know that you couldn't get the second card. And even if you have another Amex Gold, you wouldn't get hard pulled anyway. So theoretically, you should not be able to get it. But if you went for it, I guess it would.
I never actually. I wonder if you can get 2 Amex Gold. I think you can even without the welcome offer. I think you can still have it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I think 2 things I would say about this. The first thing is that there's that 7-year rule, which it's once it falls off of your credit report, it may be okay. That's one thing to think about. What's nice about what you just said, Spencer, is that when you apply for the whole thing, at the end, there may or may not be a pop-up, right? If there is a pop-up, then you just cancel, you're done, don't worry about it. But if there is no pop-up, potentially it's okay. And I haven't seen this recently, or know if it's something that is a thing, but these cards do come with no lifetime language offers. It's more prominent on the business side. But the personal side, I want to say I have seen data points of that happening too. So I think you just want to check if it's targeted, there could be in the terms and conditions a missing portion of that bold section that has that welcome offer language in it. So make sure to check the terms and conditions of your targeted welcome offer.
Yeah, if you're getting it, if you're just seeing it on Amex's website or you're seeing it through Resi or something like that, that is not necessarily a targeted offer for you. You need to go into the terms and make sure that it actually is one of those no lifetime language offers. And we have somewhat seen, I guess, with those about the tax payment thing was a big thing last year. So I guess that's the reason you're getting it. That's kind of beside the point. Let's not get too technical here.
Super chat.
Let's go. The Dollar Man.
Dollar Man, thank you so much. We're going to put that on black.
Yeah, we might.
We're going to put on red.
Well, let him decide.
Dollar Man, let us know. We want to put on black, red, or don't say green, but black or red.
We're not green. We're not. Except we put green everywhere, so that's a problem.
I know. Well, I'm also green too because of credit fraud, right?
Right. Don't put that in his mind. Black or red.
So let's see here. So John asked a very basic question here, and this is obviously one of those questions that's very always open-ended. Yeah. He asked, John Cardwell asked, what's the best card for Hilton? I never heard of Hilton, but I think what you meant to say is Hilton, which is kind of what you corrected. But what's the best card for Hilton? What would you say, kind of, if there was one card you would use for Hilton, which card would that be?
I mean, to me, it doesn't make much sense unless you're like wanting to play the Hilton carousel, which we have to be somewhat careful with this answer. The best card with Hilton objectively is the Hilton Aspire, right? Has the highest annual fee, but gives you diamond status with Hilton, gives you all the benefits that you want with Hilton. It's honestly probably still like the best hotel credit card, arguably, with benefits and stuff. What I worry about, and what Stan I think as well would worry about, is that Amex has been adding the family language to all the welcome offers, or to all their credit cards, like the charge cards, the gold, green, platinum, as well as the Delta cards, where if you get any of the higher tier cards, so say you got the Hilton, well, I'm not going to use that example. Say you got the platinum card, you would then, before you got the green or gold, you would not be eligible for the green or gold welcome offers. They added that same thing to the Delta cards. It would make sense that eventually they add the same thing to the Hilton cards. So if you get a Hilton Aspire off the bat, you do run the risk of not being able to get welcome offers on the earlier cards. We don't know that though. So it's like, do you want to take that bet? Is up to you. But that's what I would say.
Yeah, I think for me, I just want to mention that the family language has also been added to the cash cards too. Blue Cash Magnet, Everyday, Preferred, same situation. So what's interesting with the Hilton cards is it's the last credit card family that's standing without that welcome offer language. And just by nature of seeing what's happening, I think it's happening soon. So just keep that in mind. Now, as we said, Aspire is the best. There's a reason why people want 4 or 5 Aspires because it's just such a good card. But it's always going to be one of those tongue-in-cheek. It's going to depend on you. Yeah. You know, I think the credits on the Aspire are harder to get. You do get that annual free night award, which is the most powerful award you can get in any hotel credit card. But the Surpass has its place too. I mean, you get a lower annual fee. You have a quarterly credit that you can use. It's pretty easy to use. It's not bad. That Hilton gift card strategy, which is fine. Or you could stay at a Hilton hotel every quarter, which is also fine. And that would get you a net positive $50 in effective annual fee value. And also you have that $15K spend if you want to use it as like a secondary sign-up bonus or a secondary welcome offer, I would say. Right. And Hilton Gold, in my experience, Hilton Gold is enough to use for Hiltons because you get that daily breakfast credit, up to $25 per person, and there's up to 2 people, right? And so the diamond status is good, and there's a lot of data points from a lot of you guys out there in the community about getting good upgrades in domestic and international properties. But for me, I think the big winner is actually that daily breakfast credit, which does help you get that value back, and it starts at gold, right? And so you can kind of get away with that, and that's actually the big pull for Hilton cards. So I would just say between the Hilton Aspire and the Surpass, depending on what you're looking for, the Aspire card is super annoying because it's like $200 at Hilton resorts. So it really limits your functionality of how to get that credit back, and it adds some more stuff that is kind of more frustrating. Yeah, again, the easy answer is for us is always to say it depends, but that honestly is like the case with a lot of these cards. I will just touch real quick on the fact that I did always want the Hilton Business Card. That's been on my roadmap for a long time. The Hilton Business Card has recently made subjectively negative changes to it by raising the annual fee, for example. So that's one of the big issues. I really wanted it for Hilton Gold status. That's really it, because those daily breakfast credits are great. But now that they raise the annual fee, it's less important for me to get. And they also nerfed the welcome offer once again. So absolutely. And then there's also Donovan says black. So we're gonna do it on Black for your night. Just keep in mind here kind of what's going on, and we'll definitely let you know what happens. Yeah, he's in my membership, so he'll see. Oh, perfect. I'll let him know about the trip. I do want to say, I think Dugraz is here. Yes. Dugraz reports. I'm sorry about that. Best cheap hotel you've ever stayed in. one specific location, Hampton Inn or similar. And the dude was pretty good about this because he actually does stay in these types of budget hotels. And I want to say, do you want to go first? Or?
Yeah, I'm thinking of some. I know. Yeah, go ahead if you have one.
Yeah, so the best cheap hotel is actually kind of a harder thing to say. I would have to say my favorites tend to be the kind of the Fairfield Inns. That's kind of a tongue-in-cheek because like those technically aren't super nice, but they've been nice for what they bring for what I want from an economy budget stay. It's going to depend on the location. Again, I'm a big Marriott guy, and so I don't mind at all staying at like an economy stay, like for example next to the airport before an early morning flight. And so that has been helpful for me. They do give you some free breakfast, which is super nice.
Yep.
And so you have to just use that to your advantage too.
Yeah, I've got a couple ideas. One of them is I stayed at a Hyatt house, which is, I don't know if it technically is more budget because it's supposed to be for like long term, so they're cheaper. I stayed at one of those in Dallas for Vid Summit last year. So the last conference I went to with Daniel Braun, we both were staying there, and it ended up being like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath kitchen, all that stuff for like, I think it was less than 12,000 points. It was like 9,000 points or something like that. So that's pretty dang cheap. I also stayed at a Hampton Inn in Pensacola Beach on my way back for my road trip to Savannah, which was last year in like October or something like that. And that actually ended up being surprisingly nice. I did pay cash for that for the business trip purposes. But it was like a really cheap 1-night stay on the beach, free breakfast, all that. So it's like, yeah, I mean,
that's great.
Why would I complain?
The free breakfast is always the nice big thing.
I know, yeah. They got rid of that at all the nice ones, but I'll take a free buffet all the time. Which one you want to go to?
We'll do this one here. So Victoria asks us, just for fun, since you mentioned the importance of credit card community, if the credit card YouTubers were Avengers, who would be who? And I think it would make it easy just to be myself and you.
Okay.
That's so interesting because there's so many of us here in the credit card community now. It's just like there's so many, great creators, large and small, and so it's tough to figure out who would be who. I don't know. For you, Spencer, you're kind of the young upcoming guy. You have a lot of success behind you. I want to say, if I wanted to say, I mean, I think I would put you in Captain America.
Oh, I'll take that all day.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
I think you have the right heart. I think that you are absolutely doing it for the right reasons. You're always doing it for a force of good, and also you're from Texas, and that is the heart of America, in my opinion.
Absolutely, it's the heart of it. It's its own thing, But no, I do appreciate that. I need to look up some characters here. People are leaving suggestions here, so that's
good. Let me go through those.
Chat saying Lucas Hulk. That was actually
that's
easiest
very
one.
Easy. Yeah, I was like, who's? Oh, yeah,
that makes sense.
What do we got?
Jimmy said Dave Ramsey would be Thanos. I don't know if you were here. I think Jimmy was here earlier, but we just got out of a talk from Dave Ramsey.
Yeah,
so.
He was one of the headliners for the conference.
Yeah,
the keynote speakers. What's funny, he called American Express American Distress.
Yeah,
which I think is pretty funny.
Yeah, he has some opinions, obviously. But yeah, let's see here. I mean, they're rattling them off here. Doctor Strange and Captain America. Which one is which?
Yeah, which one's which? Yeah, I want to know.
Daniel Braun is Thor. Are you calling him handsome or what's going on here?
Oh, he is very handsome.
I know.
He's a handsome guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's also
that's why I watch
as tall as you.
No, I'm actually a foot taller than him.
That's true. I forgot about that.
The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, that's one of the biggest compliments you could give. Captain for sure. Yeah, okay, for sure. I'll take that. Who's the tallest Avenger? They need to be at least 6'8". See, Keith knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's talking about.
I'm not going to make that by any stretch of the word. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what I would be. I think Frugal Dan's my nest. He's got a good one right there.
There we go.
He calls me is the Doc. So I think what he's referring to is Doctor Strange.
Honestly, yeah. I can see you bending like time and space.
Oh, that would be so sick. Yeah. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, honestly, that's a good comparison there.
Yeah, I think that's a winner. I like that one.
Chase saying he just joined in. I just joined in too.
You have to go back on the video on demand, Chase, and you can just catch up on all the fun stuff here.
We're into the degenerate section here. We've gone through all the credit card stuff. Let's see here. I thought I missed one. No, I didn't miss one up there. Iron Man for, I would say you, Stan.
Stan's
got the brains.
Oh God, Stan's Iron Man. I don't know. I'd love to build. I was an engineer, just like you.
Same. Yeah.
But
computer for you, right? Though
I was electrical engineer. But I Iron Man's good. I think Doctor Strange a better fit.
I think so too. I think that's good. I can see you with the cape.
Yeah,
honestly,
absolutely.
We should get you
doing
a cape.
That spinny thing, where they like open up portals and stuff and do this stuff.
Absolutely, that's what we're gonna go do. That's Stan's new thing he's got to do whenever he's on the roulette table. So we'll video that maybe.
All right, looks like Ben Hedges' vision. All you guys really like the Avengers. Like I know a little bit about it.
I'm
but
less versed, but I know some.
Yeah.
But my dog's name is Odin, and that's
true.
Thor's dad. So I didn't get it directly from Avengers, but I like the mythology side of stuff too.
Yeah,
okay.
I
got that.
All right. Cool beans. Okay, so I think we're kind of at our hour mark here. There's a couple things I want to do. The first is to thank you all for coming for this the live stream that was pretty very quickly done. Obviously we want to learn as much as we can here in Las Vegas at the Think Media Conference. It's been a great conference so far. So we're going to take a lot of that back home to you guys and to just start making our content better.
Absolutely.
Just really applying what we learn over here. This is Las Vegas. The sun's coming in a little more toward darker, so I think it's probably a good time to end. But there's two things I want to do. The first thing is we want to reiterate that the Dollar Man with a $10 super chat, we're going to put that on black tonight. Okay, I want to see how that goes. It's going to be a fun time, and we'll let you know.
Yeah, I'll definitely post in the members chat and stuff for you, Dollar Man. So you'll see. We'll take a picture.
Absolutely. And then the last thing I want to do is I know last time that we did this together, we did rock, paper, scissors. And you unfortunately didn't win. Now I have since done, if for those who didn't know, did another live stream. Spencer is very competitive, by the way. You can already see in this stream. So I did one with Anthony on my last live. I think it was this month actually. Still April? Yes. Yeah. So I did it last month or this month, and he beat me 0-2. 2-0. Sorry. So I am no longer the quote champion, but I think you probably want a rematch, right?
Absolutely.
And because Spencer's so competitive, I really want you guys to shout down in the comments, who do you think is going to win? Who's going to win, me or Spencer? Last time I played with Spencer, I beat him 2-0. And that was
embarrassing,
kind of brutal loss.
At least,
But I want to make sure that you have a chance to redeem yourself, or I could just crush you again.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm good. Let's do this. Yeah.
Good. Okay, here we go. So before we go,
we're doing it on shoot.
We're doing shoot again. So we'll be kind of be in the middle here. Make sure our hands are right in the middle of the screen. Right. We'll do on shoot. Ready? Okay, best of three. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. So that's 1-0.
Last time too.
1-0 to me and Spencer. Okay, here we go. We go. Ready? Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Let's go. First win.
1-1.
All right.
1-1. Here we go.
Wow.
Okay.
$10 on Stan.
Okay, we're already doing some betting here. All right, Keith.
See. Oh yeah, forget that. Vegas is Stan's turf. Dude, everyone's going for Stan. Look at this.
Okay.
Holy.
Okay. Well, I said it's not 2-0 anymore, but we'll see.
All right.
Getting some on here. Okay, we got one more to go here. Okay, you guys ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Let's go. Oh, no. Let's go.
Okay, Spencer wins. Oh, can I say I'm sorry? I'm sorry, Keith. I was gonna let you guys down.
Yep.
Also, I was playing easy on Spencer too, so I kind of felt bad from the last time, so I wanted to make sure he had some level of success.
Look at this. What is going on here? I'm just getting booed out of the house.
Everyone, no, it's fine.
Stop the count. That's fine. Well, hey, now we can do another in-person thing soon. I still owe you a visit.
That's true. That's true. And now we can do a best of 3 from the overall situation.
Yep.
But no, we appreciate you guys so much. For being here. Is getting a little bit later. We do want to go to dinner because I'm getting pretty hungry, and I'm sure you are too, Spencer. And so we're gonna have a good time. Make sure we have enjoy Vegas, and of course, anything else, Spencer?
Well, I guess we just got another super chat. Thank y'all so much.
No.
Y'all are rolling in here with more super chats at the last minute.
Yeah, well, that's why they call it gambling, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're gonna go put that to the test here with Dollar Man's money. So
okay.
But thank you all so much for watching. I know Stan's already said it all, but I want to say it from me too. This is what I love doing. I love connecting with y'all, so I'm excited to get to do it again soon. And we're gonna go keep connecting with people here and go grab dinner. So
all right.
It's good talking with y'all, and we will catch y'all next time.
Later, guys.